Hello, I'm Pete Torriello.
And I'm Maureen Torriello.
I think she's making fun of me. We are the Sonic Boomers. You folks have no idea what Maureen did, not realizing that the camera was rolling. And I
Thank
have
God
my
for editing hardware.
Well, what makes you think I'm going to edit it?
Because
What are you going to do for me?
oh boy,
It's so funny. You missed a good one, folks. You're not going to see it, but it's pretty damn funny. Well, this is the Sonic Boomers, where every show Maureen and I get together to talk about whatever it is that we pull right off the top of our heads.
and sometimes that is somewhere else.
And very often, straight from the heart. And this is program number 89.5. And we're calling this one a surefire way to relax. Now, no doubt, these are stressful times,
Oh yeah,
you know, with COVID and all the nonsense that we've been going on for the last couple of years on the COVID situation, the political situation, the craziness that's going on in our country. And sometimes you just got to kick back and relax. And for some of you, that might be a glass of wine or two, or it might be a highball or two, in my case.
I detect a theme here.
You know, for some of you, it might be a little doo-doo-doo-doo, you know what I mean? But not that we do that. But for some others, it might be binge watching your favorite TV show, which we have done.
Which we have done, or just developing a hobby.
Yeah.
Which we kind of have done, actually.
Have we got any recommendations, first of all, for binge watching?
Or binge watching. Well, I think I think we kind of went through that on a previous episode. I don't know that there's anything new to add. There's a couple of documentaries and a couple of movies that were quite good.
Yes.
The one on Tammy Faye Bakker.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Which was recommended to us by one of our listeners. That came from Kevin Faye.
Right. And that was a very, very good documentary type movie.
About Jim and Tammy Bakker.
And also, with the passing of Betty White, there's a wonderful, collage of a lot of her moments compiled into a documentary also. It's called, I think, Betty White, First Lady of Television.
You know, I never realized what a good singer she was.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. And I mean, she's always been attractive, but she was gorgeous.
She was
in her
really
youth.
gorgeous in her youth, and yeah, she was an attractive,
even older woman. But
yeah.
I mean, when you see some of the early pictures, you almost wouldn't recognize her except for her smile.
Yes,
and that certain little dimple kind of in her cheek, that is like a trademark that stayed with her throughout her nearly 100 years.
She talks about doing early television, a live show. Mm-hmm. 5.5 hours a day, 6 days a week. Live television, and basically no script.
Crazy, huh?
Just winging it.
Yeah.
Just winging it,
Yeah.
That really requires an incredible talent.
It does.
Yeah. She's Betty White, I think, is one of those people that in your mind isn't supposed to die.
Yeah, definitely. And, it was a shame. I mean, she was so close to hitting that 100-year mark. Was it 2 weeks short of her 100th birthday?
Yeah.
It's like,
2-3 weeks.
God, wait 2 more weeks to let her hit that milestone. But whatever.
So we highly recommend that documentary. What else have we been watching?
Oh, goodness. I'm trying to remember. I don't know that there's anything new on our list.
Yeah. If you're kicking it old school, because Maureen and I, recently just started watching the Jolson Story. I mean, we've been, within the since COVID, binge watching stuff that was on TV 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're just watching it now. We watched all of the Grey's Anatomies that are available on Netflix.
Right.
And we watched all of the Breaking Bad, which we were riveted to both of those shows.
Right. Right.
And of course, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
We're waiting for the new ones to come up on Netflix too.
And Emily in Paris is not
I didn't think I
one.
was going to like that one because I thought maybe it was kind of a chick flick sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm finding that I'm really enjoying it.
It's a fun show. I can't think of anything else that we saw that's really different and new. Of course, with the Christmas season, I was like binge watching all the Hallmark and the Lifetime movies of the Christmas things.
I find it harder to get into those.
Them.
Yeah.
But
there's something about those Hallmark movies. Mm-hmm. If you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Unfortunately, that's true to some degree, but there's just something about the heartwarming message that in the holiday time, especially when you're feeling stressed and you're trying to get everything done, to be able to sit back and watch one of those brainless movies where you don't have to, furrow your brow and trying to keep track of who's who and what's what. You could just relax and enjoy it. I found it a way to relax, actually.
And a lot of times you have actors in these movies that are kind of on the downside of their career. Mm-hmm. And they did one with Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
And I used to love Andy McDowell, but now I'm kind of over her now.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andy, you missed your chance.
She's brokenhearted. I know.
He would have gone with you, like a few years back, but that's it. Linda Carter's another one.
Linda Carter, yeah.
You had a bad crush on, and
who didn't, for heaven's sake?
Well, I didn't.
Well, no, you didn't. But what guy didn't have a crush on Linda Carter?
So they missed their chance.
But very often they wind up in these shows. And the other problem that I have with these Hallmark movies is the ending comes very quickly. It's almost like, quick, we're running out of film in the camera. End it now. And right?
Just tie it all up, right? Yeah.
You find out that, the woman's husband was the murderer and he gets shot in the end and the police come and the camera pulls away into the distance and they roll the credits. And it all happens like in the space of 2 minutes at the end of the picture.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
But these are how we've been relaxing.
Yeah, but we found
it. Ultimate relaxation.
Relaxation.
Something new for us.
And you're going to think we've lost our minds. And if you've ever thought that the Sonic Boomers podcast was for the birds, in this case, you see what I did with that?
I do.
In this case, you are absolutely right. We have gotten into bird feeders.
And bird watching in our yard.
It is the best.
And we have gotten a pretty good variety of birds. We hung up, we started with one, and then we added a second feeder, and we're up to 3 feeders now.
Yeah, I think at one point we had like 4
we had
or
4.
5. Was it 4?
Yeah.
And we took the one down.
And then we had tried the hummingbird, but it was too late in the season, and that didn't work.
Got nothing. We got ants. That's all we got.
But anyway, we've hung up the bird feeders that just to spell the seed, and we've gotten a nice variety. We've gotten we've got mourning doves, we've got cardinals, we have a little woodpecker that comes now.
The trouble with the cardinals is they're beautiful, but like many cardinals, they're a little full of themselves. They want you to kiss their wing. You get it? Kiss the wing, the ring.
Pete,
see what I did with that?
Yeah, I do see. Yep, you're a riot today. And what else we got? Blue jays, sparrows, blackbirds,
woodpeckers.
I said the woodpecker. Yeah. I don't know, but we've got a nice variety of birds, and it's so much fun to watch. And it's gotten to be like we've watched patterns.
Yeah.
There seems like it's certain times of the day that they come, and we look for them now. It's kind of like, hey, it's 2:00. The birds didn't come today. What's up with that?
I think they actually get mad at me if I don't keep the feeders stocked all the time.
Maybe. And today we haven't seen very many, and I'm thinking it's because of the cold.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're hunkered down somewhere trying to stay warm, maybe. But I don't know. But it's fascinating to watch, and we're always hoping to catch a new one that we haven't seen before.
You know what we enjoy doing, too, is this is such a Pete and Maureen thing, but at least we will admit it to you. We will watch the birds, and we will play out little dramas and we will do like different voices for the birds.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
And we'll be like,
my face is turning red as we speak.
We'll be like the mourning doves going, oh, those blue jays are so obnoxious. Oh, those blue jays are so mean. Oh, I just came here to get some seed and I got attacked. Oh, I wish they'd go away. And, and we're like, hey, plenty of seed on this one. Come over here. Who let these starlings in the neighborhood?
When you put fresh food out, it's like, hey, Pete, the buffet's open. Come on over.
Buffet's open. Pete just went back in the house.
And the one day it was funny. We were noticing the doves were like really puffed out.
Yes.
And I said, oh, I think they do that to stay warm. That they puff out their feathers or something. It's more insulation from the cold.
Right.
And you started with this whole little thing with, hey, I noticed you're getting a little fluffy there. Thought you were gaining weight. No, I'm just doing this to keep warm.
I'm just puffing up for the warmth. So we really, really enjoy watching the birds, watching the behavior, looking at the beautiful colors. I never realized that woodpeckers were so pretty.
No, because all you ever think about is Woody Woodpecker,
Yeah.
and but this one is the one that we have coming is really pretty. It's like gray and black most of the body, but then it's got a red top on it.
Yeah,
and it's almost does look like Woody Woodpecker. You know how Woody had that little like almost like a mohawk kind of thing sticking up.
Yeah,
this one sort of has that, not to the extent, but it has of course the very long, pointy beak which it uses to peck at the holes in the wood.
I didn't realize how fast they peck into the tree. It's just like, it's so fast.
It is.
You almost can't count them.
Right. It's almost like a jackhammer.
Yeah.
You just hear the repeated thrusts of the beak, but it's pretty cool. I hope that maybe next summer, in the spring, we'll try for the hummingbirds again, because I really would like to see some of those come.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, you have to really establish it early.
Yeah, we were too late.
And we were too late. So that I'm kind of looking forward to. And I hope, hope they spread the word amongst them that,
Come on over to Pete Maureen's house. Then there was that one bird that we saw was the red-winged
blackbird. That was pretty.
And I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah. I had seen them years and years ago, like at my mom's house on occasion. And so I knew what it was, but it's very pretty because it's jet black, and then it's just like on the tip of the wings, it's got like yellow and red. And it's very pretty. And then their beak is very yellow.
We had one situation early in the summer. We had a sparrow. And I'm looking out in the backyard, and I see this sparrow on the feeder, and he's like hanging upside down, and I didn't think much of it. And a few minutes later, I walked by and I looked again, and he was still hanging there, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's caught. There's something wrong. And I ran out to the feeder, and this poor little sparrow got his leg caught. Like, we had a shepherd's hook at that point. And the feeders were hanging on the shepherd's hook, and the little sparrow got his leg caught between two sections of the shepherd's hook. And the poor thing was hanging there upside down, flapping his wings and trying to get free. And I very gently put my hand around him, and I held him, and I was able to like loosen the part of the shepherd's hook to get his leg out of there. And then I released him, and he flew off. So I hope that he was
I'm sure
okay.
he was.
But, oh, my God, my heart broke. Bad. I was so broken hearted. I was like,
I know.
I'm gonna get you, little guy. Don't worry.
And the other, Pete has been like St. Francis here rescuing the animals. Remember a couple of times we had them get caught in the wells, like the basement windows are like below grade, and they sort of like,
and we have a dome over
like
them to keep the rain out,
and they would sometimes fly in there and get
get
caught
trapped
under the plastic dome, and Pete would have to go out and rescue them.
I'm down in the basement, and I'm hearing like, and I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Boy, you should start doing beats.
Right. And I see this thing, again, I think it was a sparrow. And this poor thing,
well, they're so small that it's easy for them to get stuck in places.
And he got in there, and he was just crashing into everything. And I was trying to figure out, how am I going to get this guy out of here? So eventually I opened up the window. I think one of them, I opened up the window, and I caught him, and I ran up the stairs with him and let him out. And the other one, I was able to prop the dome open, and I tried to like guide him with my hand, like to get up to the dome and get out through the opening, and that one got out.
Yeah.
But you find that you suddenly feel like these birds are your pets.
They are. I mean, because we don't have any other pets right now. And
Maureen always says right now because she never knows when I'm going to get seized and finally give in, because we've almost all through our marriage, from the time we were newlyweds, we had either a dog or a cat. Mm-hmm. And Maureen is partial to dogs. I'm partial to cats. And I had one cat that I was like super close to, and he's gone for several years now. And there are still days that I miss that cat, just the way I know you miss our dog Lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know why I did this, but the other day I was at the shopping center, and I went into the Petco, and I start looking at the cats.
That's not something you should be doing.
And there is a jet black cat. It was like 8 weeks old, just like Spooky was. Mm-hmm. Spooky was jet black. And I was so tempted. And I didn't do it, because I think we're at the point in our lives now where we don't want to be bothered with the upkeep.
And not only don't be bothered, but it's a lot to take on, especially, if you do have, like, say, a dog, which needs walking several times a day. But even the cat, of course, now with COVID, we really don't go away much, but, to be able to say at the drop of a hat, oh, let's go out for a ride, let's go out, we'll go away for a weekend, let's go away for a day or two. You can't do that when you've got a pet. You've got to make provisions for them, or find some place where you could bring them along. And, and the other thing we've also have said is that, at this point, our house stays clean. It's a minimum amount of upkeep. Maybe once a week you run the vacuum through.
There's no damage.
There's no pet hair. There's no, cleaning up litter boxes or
having accidents and
anything like that. Yeah. And, I don't know. But like you said, there's that part of me that every now and then, when I see a particularly cute dog or a particularly affectionate cat.
And two of our kids have dogs. Mm-hmm. Our daughter has an English bulldog who is so cute.
Yeah.
Molly. And our son and his fiance have a Shih Tzu. Algonquin. And again, super, super cute.
I know.
And we see these dogs, and we look at each other like, well, and then sanity takes over. And we're like, no, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of taking care of the birds. You set up your feeders, and these birds come at you can almost expect them, like Maureen said. Now, we get some that come in the morning that about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We have the second seating. And then in the evening, maybe around dusk.
Yeah.
I know they all come in because they like to feed at night before they go to bed.
Yeah.
Because they store up the energy.
Right.
And you really feel this sense that they are your pets. And like we have Mr. and Mrs. Cardinal, we call them. And then we have, the Blue Jays, and then we've got Woody,
we call
the
him
woodpecker. And I think those are the only ones that we named so far.
There's like 3,000 of them that show up. So,
Yeah, sometimes we get so many that like each of our feeders will hold, I think, 6 birds.
I don't know.
One will hold 4 and the other 2 hold 6. And there are days where the feeders are like, there's a bird on every perch.
Right.
And hundreds of birds sometimes. I've seen them cover the whole backyard where you almost can't see the lawn.
Yeah.
And then they're up on the fence.
And in the trees.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Waiting to get to the feeders.
It's almost like, one leaves, the next one comes in. It's almost like an airport.
Yeah.
When the planes take off and the next one lands and right behind it, it's like a constant stream. And the other thing that I find fascinating to watch too is all of a sudden it's like we don't see anything happen, but like on a turn of a dime, they just all of a sudden will like
gone.
Get up and go. And by the same time, they all arrive together too. It's like,
hey, full feeders here at Pete's house. Come on.
I always wonder, what is it that they are responding to? Because obviously, there's some kind of communication taking place amongst them that they can just all of a sudden they're just gone. And the other thing I think is really kind of cool, something we can learn from the animal kingdom, is, with the exception of some of the bigger birds, like the blue jays and like the blackbirds, they can get a little bit nasty. But for the most part, they all kind of come and they feed side by side. Nobody bothers each other.
Yeah.
There'll be a sparrow and a cardinal eating at the same feeder, and there's plenty for everybody, and they all get along.
Then those blue jays show up.
And even them, they're not all that.
No, they get a bad rap.
But they tend to be a little bit more aggressive than some of the other birds, and also because they're larger, they tend to crowd out the sparrows. Listen to us, but like we said at the beginning, this has been a joy for us, and it's been a fun thing. It's been relaxing.
Oh, it is so relaxing.
It is really nice.
And we have friends come over, like in the summertime, we have like a deck, and it's nice because from our deck, you have a nice view of the feeders, and also from the picture window in our living room, we can watch the feeders from out there too. So it's like a win-win. And we'll have company come over, and they'll be out on the deck with us, and they're watching the birds. And, we have one friend who said, gee, when I get settled in my new place, maybe I should try doing this. And I know our granddaughter got fascinated. Erin, who is our 12-year-old, she went out a couple of times to look at the feeders. And the one day I said to her, I said, Erin, I've got to go out and fill up my bird feeders. Do you want to come? So we went out to the storage shed, and I opened up this big container of seed that I have, and I've got this device that it's like a funnel, and it's got a valve on the bottom of it, and you scoop up your seed, and you hold it over the feeder, and you pull the trigger, and the seed drops down into the feeder.
High tech.
And I showed her how to do it, and she really liked doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that she really wanted to get a feeder at home. And I was almost going to give her one, but I know our daughter is like not real hot on the idea right now.
Well, I mean, we love Erin to pieces and would do anything for her, but she tends to have very short attention spans.
Kids will, it's like when you get a new dog. You get a new puppy, and the kids swear to God, I'll take care. And that lasts for a week. And next thing you know, mom and dad are out there walking the dog every day.
Right. So, I understand.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's been our fun times, our relaxing time.
And you might think it's expensive, and it can be. If you've got caviar tastes, first of all, a feeder, I've got 2 feeders out there that were like, I think, $9 each. And those are plastic. And they will accommodate 6 birds. And then I've got the high-tech feeder that I got.
Mm-hmm. That was the first one we got.
Which is metal. That'll accommodate 4 birds, but it has a spring device on it so that if a squirrel jumps on it and tries to get the seeds, the weight of the squirrel will pull it down and
shut it down.
Shuts it down.
Shut that down.
Where he can't get the seed.
Yeah.
And at first I used to get really annoyed when I'd see the squirrels out there, but you know what? They got to eat too.
Yeah.
They got to eat too. So they all just have to get along. So
it's the Torriello Zoo.
So yeah, the one feeder that I have, the expensive one, was about $35. And the other ones are like maybe $10, $12, something like that. It's not expensive. Where I was really spending a lot of money at the beginning, and it was just out of ignorance, I was going to Petco and buying the bird seed because I thought I should buy the premium bird seed.
Oh, and besides, you didn't know where else to get it.
Didn't know where else to get it. And I was buying that black oiled seed.
Yeah.
It's, what is it, sunflower seed?
Sunflower seeds, yeah.
And that stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
And then I was buying the mixed variety because, you know, all these bags say, get more birds, get better birds, get prettier birds, get nicer, get high-class birds, get more blue jays and all this. And eventually paying $15 a bag and going through 3-4 bags every couple of weeks was getting to be a bit much.
Yeah.
So someone had said to me, go to the ShopRite and you can get like a 20-pound bag of mixed seed for $6 and change.
Yeah. And it's fine. They like it.
And we get a lot, and we get the same birds that we were getting on the high price seed.
Yeah. So go to ShopRite.
Go to ShopRite, get the 20-pound bag of bird seed for $6. Get yourself at least one feeder.
Yeah.
And if you put up 2-3 feeders, that's fine. And I think that you will really, really enjoy it.
I think so too.
And now
it's trivia time.
It's trivia
our favorite time of day.
And we pull the questions from the Trivial Pursuit Baby Boomers edition.
You almost said Sonic Boomers.
The Sonic Boomers edition. And well, maybe we'll do one of those one day. Who knows? Okay, you got your question picked
Yes,
out?
I do.
Okay, good.
Okay, this one I think you might get.
Okay.
This is Lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of breakfast cereal was Marky reluctant to eat in TV commercials?
I know this.
I think you will, yeah.
That was Mapo.
Yes, it was.
In fact, it was Marky, and he had his little sister, Ginny, and he had, I think it was an uncle. I don't think it was his father in the commercial, but I can remember there was Marky liked the Mapo. He liked it. I know it says he was reluctant. I don't remember him being reluctant.
Well, I think once he ate, he was reluctant, and then once he ate it,
was that what it was?
Kind of like green eggs and ham.
Because,
I do like
because I remember there was one where the uncle was sleeping, and Marky had the Mapo on the spoon, and he shoved it into the uncle's mouth, and the uncle woke up and liked it and starts eating all the Mapo, and Marky goes, "I want my Mapo."
Yeah.
That was the cell line.
Right.
I want my Mapo. But yeah, I remember that right away.
Okay.
Yeah, Marky Mapo and his sister Ginny. Okay, let's see. But there's one here on Jeopardy. I'm not going to give you because you'll know this. That's just a dead giveaway. Oh, you'll probably get this one. You'll probably get. Maybe not. You'll get that. I'm going to give you an easier one. And the question is, what character in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland noted, "But if you were not mad, you would not be here"? If you were not mad, you would not be here. Your time begins now. I think you know this.
I'm assuming it's the Mad Hatter.
That's right. The Mad Hatter. Let me see if you get the one that I was going to give you. What city's policemen stopped using tubular whistles after an order dated December 24th, 1959?
London?
No. Good guess, though. That's what I thought, too, before I looked at the answer.
Yeah.
It was New York City.
Oh, okay.
New York City.
You always see the London bobbies with those tubular whistles. I didn't recall New Yorkers. I thought they had just the traditional whistle, sort of like the rounded edge.
I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I've heard it said that in London, the Bobbies do not carry firearms.
I heard that.
Have you heard that?
I've heard that too. I don't know if that's like maybe it was true years ago. I don't know if it's still true today because the world is so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you have an answer to that question, you can comment down below.
Yes.
Or you can send it to us on an email at thesonicboomers@aol.com.
Please do.
Do the Bobbies in London carry firearms?
Yeah. We'll have to look that up.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Sonic Boomers podcast. This was kind of a fun one to do. You know that?
Yeah.
And we did it. Usually we do some kind of an outline or a rough script before each show. And this one we just did, well, we pulled it out of someplace else, as we say at the start of the show. We just did it off the top of our heads. But, it comes easy when you're really enjoying something and you want to share it. So until next time, for the Sonic Boomers, I'm Pete Torriello.
And I'm Maureen Torriello.
Now, go out and make some noise. We'll see you next time.